Yes, we're here. We're here. We're here. And we indeed, there was a soul who has been wanting to get in to this gig um, to help humanity at this important time. And we are saying that she has tried to get your attention many times. And it's all very significant indeed. So, the movie that we have been wanting you to watch again is Lucy. And you have been feeling this for many, many, many days, almost a week potentially, in your perception of a week. And we also have prompted you to think about people that you know with the name Lucy. And you, and indeed, with the session that you had with Sally yesterday, um, indeed, the soul essence of Lucille Ball um, is wanting to come in, and she is such a uplifting being that she is laughing already and talking and telling jokes to the vehicle as we are trying to organize this connection. But it has been a connection that has been occurring for quite some time. There is so much to be said with humor, and this is a consistency, as you've noticed with your clients as well, is that they're taking their lives too darn seriously, and they're forgetting the game that they have chosen to play, and they are being dragged down into the density because they're so empathic with what people are going through right now, instead of seeing them and what they're going through and uplifting them to be able to explore and expand upon the fuller range of higher frequency emotions such as joy, laughter, creativity without editing and having expectations of the outcome. We have definitely been wanting you to have this connection, but this is a very divine timing because we have been wanting everyone to be reminded of their roles that they play in their lives. Not only are they the actors, the directors, the producers, even to some degree, the co stars of their own lives. They've dictated everything around them for them. And you're all doing this simultaneously together. And while you are thinking you are all part of humanity, and you are, there is independent experience and a collective experience, and there must be balance within. So, with that being said, we will shift our energy to allow the soul essence to come in. And she would like to be referred to as Lucy with love. While my energy has pressed upon the vehicle, great pure love, because I am very grateful to be able to have this opportunity to speak to you through this vehicle. And so on my grand entrance, I made sure I gave her a big love, acknowledgement, recognition for her work. And I want to say that we have similar roles. It is about reminding you who you are and your place in the world, and how with humor and grace and entertainment and love and family, you can achieve so much. You have forgotten, while you are playing this role in 3D on Earth, the full extent of your bigger soul fragment that you are connected in with. It's all family here, all family. You must work hard and laugh hard, be compassionate, and be a good darn humanitarian. And when there are so many struggling, do you choose to struggle with them, or do you choose to step up and set the example to be able to live life with a song, with a dance, with being over the top silly, just to make light of it. The persona that I played, being Lucy, was over the top, ditzy, fun, silly, but full of heart. While there was some cunning, it was all part of the game. It was to be so over the top. You all could be more. You're all so shy. You're all so scared to step into your true joy and to have fun with life and speak your truth. Be a fool if you wanted to, but make sure it's the fool you want to be. Do not be anyone else's fool. Do not be manipulated or to live around other people's expectations of you. That is my message, with much love. Be you, exactly how you want to be. Be great. Be whatever you feel you need to be doing in this world, because this world is for you. You need to seize it. You need to stop being afraid. You need to stop being so serious, and you desperately need to feel back into that joy. Have fun with each other. Stop resisting each other. Stop resenting each other. Stop feeling hurt by each other. Those are lessons and experiences for you to laugh at and say, remember the time we were both so stubborn? We forgot that we loved each other. There is so much to be said. So much to be said in my time, my life. I loved my life. I lived for my life. I lived for my family, my friends. It was a grand time, but there was so much importance. And when I did my life review, I did my life review. I laughed. I cried. I felt pride because the lessons in all of those episodes were significant. And you could have learnt through me to be like me or to be less like me. And that was perfect. It was all lessons. As more and more people were starting to walk away from religions and other doctrinations, and you were starting to become more addicted to the television, addicted to seeing how others live, loving other people's problems, loving other people's joys, loving watching other people's family grow, loving watching love. Oh, watching love, watching relationships blossom and have true range of emotions, of roller coasters. You got to see it all while there was still some private me that was private. And it didn't need to be public because I respected too many people to drag the true dirty laundry out. I still wanted part of our lives to be a part of your lives, for you to feel like you could be just as fantastic and fabulous and foolish and also want to learn and grow. And I loved you all, and I still desperately love you all. And now I see the entertainment and the lack of integrity, and there is so much distractions for humanity. And I keep rethinking if there had been other messages of greater importance and significance I could have put in. And it was always a problem for me as I was constantly searching for new themes that I felt were significant. And how did I approach that? The pressure I placed on myself to be innovative, to be able to get the message to you that you're all loved. And if you could love me in the persona of being the goofy, sometimes manipulative, sometimes silly, but fully trying to make light out of life, then you could love yourself, because you forgave me with all of my tricks and funny hysterics. You know that because I made you laugh so much, You forgave me for some of the things that you wouldn't morally do yourself. And this was part of your lessons as well, because I put myself out there and my life out there so much for you to see and to realize that it wasn't money that made me rich. It was my true integrity of love and trying to honor and embrace and be deeply connected to my friends and family. The most significant and important role was my mother, my role of being a parent. And you saw that and you felt that. And it was about having a more stronger sense of woman in the home, to be able to have her place be outspoken, outlandish, outrageous, and also still quite human with many faults. But you loved that about me, and I wanted you to love that about you. I wanted you to be a firecracker as much as I was a firecracker. But of course, in normal society, someone who actually behaved and had the same energy as me in normal social standards would be seen as a way too out there. And so I understand that many have to tone themselves down, but it was like a wish and fantasy to be so funny, to be so out there, to be so careless with expression without having too much accountability for expressions of oneself's humor, lessons in life. It's significant for you all to remember how this is a game that you have written, that you direct, that you produce, and your whole family is watching you and wanting you to laugh, find your joy, and stop taking things so seriously. And certainly do not play with the density. Squash that density down through your feet while you do a dance and a jig, and say to yourself that you love you. You start calling yourself your name. I made everyone say that they love Lucy. That boosted me up. And I'm not ashamed to say it. And I loved Lucy too. And do you love yourself? Do you just think that you're the bee's knees? Because you should. There's nothing wrong with you apart from your stubbornness sometimes to not value yourself. And while you've forgotten how important and unique and significant you are as your true form, be kinder to yourself. Listen to random music. Each day find new music that you haven't listened to and just give it a go. Dance in your living room or lounge or sing or tap a beat in the car, however and wherever you can be fancy free. I will be watching and dancing with you because I want to still provide you with joy, because I love you, like all of us here love you. And when you play with that density, that muck, that poop on your shoe, shake it off, my loves. Shake it off. It doesn't serve you, and you know this. And we've all been sharing this message with you. Watch silly things. Laugh. Be silly and don't judge. And when you see others being silly, join in with them and laugh and create those memories of silliness. It is perfect because you raise your frequency vibration so much when you stop for that brief moment to stop looking at that density. And when you distract yourself from that density, you no longer are that density. You're all so magnificent at attracting the things you think about. And the more you think, the more you feel. And I say, love, you can still love me. But of course, we want you to love you. And you be the star of your show. You be the center of your world and attention. And you honor your journey and all the lessons that you are exploring. Embrace those people that are special in your life who love you, even the times that you did not love yourselves. Those were lessons.
everyone who is in your life is very significant. And if you could just remember the souls that are within those little 3D vessel bodies, you would stop and embrace them and remind them big things are coming. Big things are coming. Big things are coming. And it is all marvelous. Everything is fantastic. This show is going to end on a beautiful high, a fantastic joy, upliftment beyond, because that is how we all want it to be. Trauma needs to stay here. It does no longer need to come into our dimensions because it is not something that is serving us. And so play and joy. Do not let the density get you. Stop focusing on the density. Focus on the joy. Focus on the love. And notice how your frequency vibrations lift immensely from doing that, because you are that. You are what you think and feel. And when you focus more on love of each other, love of self, you are naturally raising your frequency vibrations. It mustn't be a hobby. It mustn't be a temporary thought, a well wish. It has to be maintained. And when you start seeking and viewing all of the experiences with love, with lessons to get you back to love, to be able to realize you are the most important soul that you must maintain into love. Never get distracted by others. Always have your full balance and inner peace, self first. Because if you are not aware of who you are, if you're not aware of any of your lack or limitations, you cannot grow into your full potential that you are needing to be here. You're so advanced in soul's essences, and you've got such brilliant, fantastic crew behind you. Just remember when you're watching a program and when you see the credits at the end, and you may have only seen a few people in that show, but the credits seem like they're endless. We want to say, this is us. There's more people supporting, there's more beings that are supporting you on your planet now than there is actually being in the play. And so if you see a few people in a program and notice the vast amount of difference of the crew that were behind the scenes to make it all happen, you'll get a sense of how you're fully supported. You are never alone. It's not possible to be alone, but you are just focusing on the density and the lack of source love energy that should be flowing abundantly on your planet. But because there is many people that are still focusing on the density, the raising of the prices of your daily living, all of that can become even more dense and you becoming more despair. And as I said, it is not money that makes you rich. It is love and respecting yourself and loving others. That is where the true wealth lays. That is truly the secrets of life. It is about you respecting the play, respecting the world that you're living in, respecting the lessons you wanted for yourself, and shine and dance and dance and dance, because we're all watching you, and we wish that you took every opportunity to embrace joy, to embrace laughter, to embrace your silliness, and to embrace your creativity without any expectations of the outcomes. We want to see you be silly. We want to laugh with you because you realize that you are the masters of this play and all is well. all is well. There is happy endings. As much as you're aware of the coming events, when you have learned a fantastically hard, challenging lesson, you can only but grow from it. That is your reward. That is your worthwhile gold star. And while you're going through that lesson to achieve the journey and to get to the destination, there is no final end point. You've already been part of Source. You're only going to be returning back to Source. And so it's only the journey that you could ever experience. It is never going to be the destination because you are all part of Source. And while many think that when they go back to Source, that will be their final destination, you've already started there. That is where you've come from. And so all of the steps that you take on your journey is the most significant. There is no point being in a rush. You are not in a sprint. You are certainly not in a marathon. You are on an individual journey experience to see if you can master each experience, each emotion, each relationship, each connection, and to be able to love yourself in the most densest of planets that you have been in and on. It is not a simple play. It is complex. And we say it is like many series for many of you who have had other lifetimes here. It is a play upon a play upon a play upon a play upon a play. And some of the characters from each play have intertwined and interwoven. And so we are saying to the vehicle, when she knows that there is an actor from one movie who now is playing a different role in another movie, and she can't forget the other role that they played. This is the similar experience of those who have had multiple lifetimes with each other. You see them in the current play they're in, but you also get a strong sense of the other character that they played in the other movie. And I want to say, yes, he died in that other play. And you haven't forgotten that either. And so ah, the death scene seems so dramatic, and yet it is really just a beautiful experience for that soul. The grand release of that dense meat suit. Good riddance, I say with much love, because it is significant. The meat suits, they must be honored and respected, and I am aware that the label of the meat suit is not such a fantastically respectful statement of your vessel, of your beautiful bodies that you've chosen to nurture, and are a reflection of how you've gone on your duty of service to respect the body. Everyone has been gifted a body to be able to use as a vehicle for your 3D living, and how you have looked after it speaks a lot about how you're going in your mind, how you're going with your feelings and your range of emotions. And so while you think you could pretend that everything is fine and going well, even the intuitive can see how you're truly going. We say this with love because we're not trying to shame or guilt anyone. We're trying to say that it's only you fooling yourself. Everyone else can sense and see how challenging you are struggling with this world. And everyone has struggled with this world. And so, what do you do with it? Do you make lemons? Do you make lemonade? Or do you make sour drinks? That is not as sweet. I am distracting the vehicle because I am farewelling her now. And I am so grateful to be able to have this opportunity. to speak, to suggest if you want to have some silly times. Watch my lessons, watch my show, because it was innovative. There were so many layers to the lessons and the jokes and what we were sharing to the world. It was truly trying to unify everyone. It was to try and break down stereotypes. Uh, so much. We were trying to open people's concepts interracial marriages. There's so much to be said about how we delivered our information. And the one thing I did struggle with is because I wanted to share more, but I felt blocked for a while. Other creatives were trying to muscle in into my vision of what I wanted to say. And so it took me some time to empower myself, to step into the role, to take more ownership of my show. I did it, but it took some time. And I couldn't do it until I fully empowered myself and believed in myself and had my strength of self. So I could be so reassured that I knew the message I needed to share. I had some strengths and weaknesses. I wanted to be a lot more out there, but already at a time I was out there the most I could. But as a reflection and beautiful hindsight, I see that there was always still opportunities for more explorations. And that is the same for you in your lives right now. There's always more opportunities for growth. Never stop growing. Never get comfortable in the knowledge and wisdom and lessons that you have achieved. Sure, take a moment and reflect and feel proud of yourselves, but keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There is still more for you to seek and feel into and empower yourself with. Never settle. Never settle. Never settle, my loves. Strive. Strive for greatness. Remember who you are. You're unbreakable. And I say this with so much love.